am actually pretty satisfied with today's training. The reason why this training or today's training was different from the past ones, or actually mainly from the last one, which was pretty bad, I analyzed what the problem might have been or what the problem was during the last training. And that's what you should always do, like whenever you end up with an injury or your training ends up being pretty bad, there is usually like an actual reason why that is the case. And so you should always analyze what's like the root cause of the problem. So in terms of your injury, like if there was any kind of exercise you did with a bad form or you pushed yourself a bit too much than you should have, and like find those reasons, those problems, and try to find a solution to them. And so in terms of my training, I realized that in most of my trainings actually, not just the last one, I did have like a proper warm-up, but it wasn't really focused on moving around and just getting into the flow. Like in this video you have seen it at the beginning, that I did a completely different style of warm-up than I usually do, and it turned out to be much better. Also, I went with a different mindset. When I first touched the bar, like I didn't go right away into a difficult combo. I was like, I will do 180, 360, do dislocate 360, but very simple and easy, and just get into the proper like flow state. And it was much better today compared to the last training. And even though I have back pain as well as left wrist pain, I managed to do or have an actual proper workout, because I was contemplating after the last video which I posted that if I should even continue uploading, because if I were to stop doing planche, if I were to stop doing all those cool things, I wouldn't probably get views. But in the end, I found a way how I can train even with the back pain as well as the left wrist pain. And I tried front lever and I felt a bit better compared to the last training. And I am slowly getting the skill of doing it as well as the strength of doing it back. Like if you were to look at my shorts and you would scroll down not even that much, you would see me doing almost touch front lever. Of course, the form as well as I wasn't really touching the bar, but you would see the complete difference in terms of skill in that short compared to these trainings. And the reason why is my back pain. I had to stop training altogether for almost 3 weeks just because of the back pain, and I couldn't really even do freestyle. And I was afraid that if I were to train properly, I would make it worse and I wouldn't be able to do anything for much longer. And so like these things are not ideal in terms of your calisthenics or any kind of journey. Like when you get a setback like I did in terms of my right knee, actually that brings me to a point which I wanted to make. When I was trying 540 attempts, those were the last attempts of me doing freestyle during today's training. And during the second 540 I landed in a way that it completely like simulated the motion as when I dislocated my knee, and it was this motion. And I actually felt like it didn't hold together as it should have, and so in that case I decided to stop doing freestyle, as well as I'm not sure how I will go and try to get 540 back, especially since this happened. I will have to come up with a safer way how I can do it, or maybe I just have to wait for a bit longer so that my knee will get into proper shape as well as strength. And so that's it for the session. I didn't prepare any kind of lesson for today, so we'll leave it at that. I'm grateful that you have gone this far, especially considering the attention span of the average person nowadays. And if you are someone who has been watching this series of my trainings, then you will probably like my one and only product which I have. It's linked down below, you can check it out if you are interested, and afterwards you can watch this video next.